Hi everyone and welcome back to Grab a Glass. If you don't already know, my name is Lauren.
And I'm Hazel. And today's episode is a little bit different. Today it's not that structured, we are just having a conversation. So the conversation topic is the confidence that no one teaches you.
So the first question for today is, how easy is it to lose confidence in your own judgment?
I think it's very easy to lose confidence in your own judgment, and it happens without you even realising it. I have grown into my confidence. It's taken me a long time to be able to, look at myself in the mirror when I wake up and think, you're a confident girl.
I'm a confident, independent woman.
Yeah. But I think it takes a long time to discover yourself, break out of your anxieties and just be confident and have faith in your own decisions and your own judgments. So I remember when I couldn't post an Instagram photo without getting your opinion first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you still do that, but that's just a girl thing, isn't it? We all ask for an opinion.
We do.
But it's not necessarily approval.
Well, that's it, isn't it? It's kind of, it's sort of seeking an extra pair of eyes or an extra set of validation. You want someone to say, oh my God, yeah, post that picture on Instagram. You want to make sure that you're making the right decision. You want that second opinion. And it takes a long time to be able to break out of that. I mean, it's taken me years. I mean, I still do it sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's taken a long time for me to be able to say, do you know what? No, I'm going to post that picture anyways. But it does, it makes you realise how much you rely on other people and how much you rely on other people's opinion, and it makes you question, why don't I trust my own judgment?
I think the thing with a lot of people as well is it's sort of like questioning your worth.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's hard to explain. I think it's kind of, it's seeking approval. I feel like it's one of those things where you kind of think, am I good enough? Is this photo good enough? Is that good enough? Or should I actually do this? Should I edit it? It comes down, I think this overlaps with when we briefly talked about social media as well. It's kind of like the pressures of society feeding into our insecurities.
Massively, yeah. And it's not just social media. I do it in work, I'll make a little phone call and say, am I okay to do this? Even though it's the right thing to do, and I know it's the right thing to do, but I need someone to say, yes, do that.
Yeah.
Make sure that you do this as well, or, it's kind of, you want a second opinion. You want someone to tell you that you're doing the right thing.
I feel like it's kind of sort of like a justification as well. Like, would you say that that's good enough? And, it's... I don't really know where it comes from. I think it's always sort of been there. It's always been something that's been internalised within us.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's.
I've just slurped that.
Did you?
Yeah.
See, like this as well. Like normal people would probably, well, not normal people, but the average person would normally like edit stuff like this out. We leave it in. Because it's human, it's natural, it's raw, it's exactly who we are. This is the kind of conversation, aside from the enunciation, this is the kind of conversation that we would normally have.
Yeah.
Like we sit here and we digress and we go into different topics, and that's just, I think that's just us trying to be authentic so that we don't come across as something that we're not. Like, let the world just think what they want to think, and let's just hope that they like it.
That's just it. And at the end of the day, if they don't like it, at least we like it. And, we've talked about it before in different episodes that your opinion matters and your voice makes a difference. And I think when you can't trust your own voice, like we sit there and we think, what should we talk about today? You know what I mean? Should we bring this up? Should we talk about this? And then it kind of gets the conversation flowing a little bit, and that's just us ironing out the kinks, but we enjoy it.
Yeah.
So based off that, then when do you think we stop trusting ourselves?
I think it starts very early on in life. I mean, you go to school, and if you like something that everybody else doesn't like, you kind of start thinking, okay, well, why do I like that? Because nobody else likes it. You know, I mean, I used to love Lily Kelly's. You know, do you remember the little...
The shoes with the dolls in them?
No, they were Polly Pockets.
Were they?
Yeah, Lily Kelly's were the ones that had loads of beads on and loads of sequins and stuff. Lily Kelly's, the coolest shoes. Oh yeah, that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they were always on TV. They were always advertised, and I feel like at some point everybody wanted them, but I loved them and I wore them from the age of probably.
You wore them with pride.
I wore them with pride. Yeah, probably from the age of, I want to say about 4 to, I think it was about 9. No, probably about 8 or 9 that I stopped wearing them. And I only stopped wearing them because I'd be on the playground and I'd be with my friends, and everybody else had like trainers on, or they had Nikes on, or Nikes, whatever.
I call them Nikes.
I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So they'd have some sort of trainers on, and then I'd be there popping about with my little glitzy shoes on in my mismatched outfit, and it was something that I liked, but then nobody else did, or it wasn't cool anymore. So I was like, okay, well, all right, I'll have to put them back in the box then. And they're still in there. I'm pretty sure we've still got them in the house.
Yeah.
And they're sat in the box in the cupboard. And little 8-year-old me is thinking, oh, I really like those.
So it's from a very early age then you lost confidence in that then, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because I think that happens to a lot of people. It definitely happened to me as well. But I didn't have Lily Kelly's. I had the shoes with the dolls in them. And I used to wear them to school.
So I always wanted them.
Yeah, I loved them. I named all the dolls. And I used to be there in class, you know, picking the dolls out my shoes, and I used to kind of like fidget with them, and then I'd be going around showing all my friends, oh my god, these are so cool, and I used to love them. But no one had them.
Did they not?
No, I think about one other person had them when I was in primary school, and then it just fizzled out. But you know, you don't realise how much other people's opinions influence you until it actually hits you later on in life. You know, you think that, you know, it's the most important thing in the world to fit in and make sure you fit a norm, but it's not. I mean, I think a lot of people lose confidence in their own judgment and in themselves when they get rejected.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I was bullied throughout my entire life pretty much. But I remember it. Were you?
Yeah.
See, I don't think we've ever spoke about this, to be honest.
We haven't.
Have we not? But yeah, I remember even being bullied in high school when everyone was first downloading Snapchat. And I used to, I don't know if you remember, but I used to like post every single thought that I had on my story, on my public story. Yeah, and then I've always been a very open person, and I've always been if I've got something to say, it's going to come out of my mouth whether I like it or not. And I got relentlessly bullied by that, and then there was rumours, and there was this, and there was that, and it was like, why are you doing that to me? Because this is something that I probably shouldn't have shared every thought with the world. I probably shouldn't have done.
No, but you wanted to.
I wanted to at the time, and it's something that you learn by yourself. Okay, well, that's a bit embarrassing, so I'll stop that. But having to be bullied to come to a realisation.
The world shouldn't be like that.
No, it shouldn't. And it made me lose so much trust in myself to the point where now I don't really go on my phone.
You're still second guessing it, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't really share things anymore. But c'est la vie, I suppose. So, would you say that there's a difference between intuition and fear?
I think so. People rush through things. Fear doesn't rush you, anxiety does. You know, it's the fear of falling behind, and it's the fear of, you know, not being good enough, and it's the anxiety that nothing's good enough, nothing's working for you. So people meet deadlines, people keep up with the Joneses, and that's anxiety based. And because of that, people are scared to mess up.
Yeah.
And it's hard to, you know, figure out why you can't really trust yourself.
Sorry about that, by the way, if you heard it. Sorry, carry on.
But I think it's hard. It's difficult to be able to differentiate between fear and, you know, what's stopping you from being able to trust your own instincts.
Yeah, I mean, it's just popped into my head. It might sound like I'm gloating a bit, but I promise you I'm not. I actually wrote a very short poem which kind of sticks through me day to day. Sticks with me, rather. Which is, what or who are you actually afraid of? And I think that's very appropriate to this, because it's not really, you know, what really are we actually afraid of? Are we scared of people? Are we scared of what they're going to say? Yes. Or are we scared of not being enough? Are we scared of failure? I mean, what is failure really? You only fail if you don't try.
Yeah, that is absolutely true.
You know, what's actually stopping us from doing things? I mean, like this. I mean, we kind of, well, I did anyway, thought, oh, it's not going to work, it's not going to...
We both thought that.
Yeah, people might not like it and this, that, the other. But we're doing it anyway, because who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? It's fun. It's something for us to do together. It's something that might help someone. You know, we're not exactly trained. We're not exactly professionals in any kind of field, but it's a conversation. It's starting a conversation so that people can chime in the comments or wherever and go, oh yeah, actually that makes a lot of sense because I've been struggling with that. It's not letting the fear hold you back from doing something that you want to do. Like, there's been a lot of things in my life where I thought, I can't do that because what if I don't succeed? And guess what? Did it anyway.
Yeah.
It's
and you can say that, it's like that saying, isn't it? You know, I've been around the block, I've got the t-shirt, you know, I've learned how to make the cup of tea and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's that, isn't it? You know, you need to be able to step out your comfort zone and try new things. You know, things that would usually scare you, but end of the day, it is all anxiety, isn't it? It's that little voice inside of our heads that say you're not good enough, you're not going to make it, you're not going to be successful, no one's going to listen, no one's going to like. But just turn the volume down, put them on mute.
Yeah, it's not about that. It's not about how popular you are at the end of the day. Because that's what we all chase when we're growing up, innit? How popular we are. Oh, look at me, I've got 15 mates. Okay, and I've got one good mate. Yeah.
But that's when people start obsessing, and that's when it kind of becomes harder to read between the lines, because we all chase something. We've all got a goal, we've all got a destination, we've all got something that we work towards. And the line gets blurred, because when you start bringing anxiety into it or bringing fear, then you lose sight in your own intuition, because you end up making silly mistakes. You end up not trusting your own gut. You end up going home thinking, oh, I should have done that. You know, you end up regretting things, and it becomes a vicious circle. So it's learning to break that circle, turning the volume down, sticking that little voice on mute, and just being able to, you know, take a step back and think, do you know what? I trust myself. I know what I'm doing. I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
Right, so when did you glow up then? When did you turn that little voice off, and when did you learn to trust your own instincts?
I think in most respects, I've kind of not really got there yet. I think with a lot of people, it is still a work in progress. But like, take for example this episode. I think this is our first episode where we haven't had cue cards. Like, there is nothing to go off, just the points that we've got in our heads. Like,
just winging it, aren't we?
Yeah, going with the flow. But it's scary, but it's something that we have to do at some point. You know, we have to take these risks, and we have to think, okay, well, maybe I should step out my comfort zone. Maybe I should just be a little bit more authentic, you know. And it's not that we weren't authentic before, just, you know, a little bit maybe unsure of ourselves, because it's new, you know, and sometimes new things are scary, but you just have to trust yourself.
Yeah, it's like learning to walk before you can run. You know, you have to take baby steps to be able to lead up to something big. You know, you have to be able to master the basics first, And I think 9 times out of 10 we run before we can walk. And I think in a sense it scares a lot of people, you know, because I personally went through a phase when I was younger. I wanted to be a social media influence, and I treated my Instagram, I still do, to be fair, I still treat it like a portfolio.
Not as much, but to an extent.
Yeah. But I was relentless in posting. I would make sure everything was airbrushed. There was no inconsistencies. There was nothing that I wasn't happy with before I posted that. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it sounds so sad, but I was posting like I was famous, and I was getting 4 likes on my posts.
Yeah.
But I was content with that. I was happy in my own little world, you know, thinking, you know, I'm a little influencer. But I think when that did set in, and I thought, you think, you get so anxious, you think, you know, everyone's judging me, no one likes me, no one's liking this, no one's sharing it, you know, I've got 4 followers and I've got 164,000 posts on my page.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of think, oh my God, so I deleted my Instagram.
Oh God, yeah, you did.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just got, I don't think I even realised, but I got a follow request one day and it was from you, and I was like, what? And then I went on it and it was the bio and it said new one, and I was like, why have you got a new account?
New one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I know. New one. Kiss.
Yeah, but that was me getting in my head, getting anxious, and there was nothing wrong with what I was doing before. There was nothing wrong with, you know, posting. If I liked a photo, I stuck it on my Instagram.
I still do that. Everything goes on my Instagram.
Yeah.
If I like it, it's posted.
But to this day, I still don't understand why I got rid of my Instagram account. I don't understand why I deleted it. But I think it was because I was, in my head, I was anxious and I was fixated on what people thought of me. But, you know, that has taught me over a long time. Like, I still post religiously now, but I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I mean, it's like me, when we first started filming these, or whenever even when me and you have a picture together, I'm always like, do I look fat? But do you know what? I've got to the point now where it's like, okay, and I'm not bothered. It doesn't matter anymore. You know, I mean, it's this, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Expectation. Like, we grew up and everyone was, like, really skinny and they were all in, like, leggings and stuff, and it's like, well, I was never fat growing up. Looking back, I always say that I used to be fat as a kid, but looking back at the pictures, realistically, I wasn't. I was just a bit chunkier than everyone else. I just had a bit more meat on my bones, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I mean, there's always something that we're not going to be happy with ourselves, but if you keep picking at it and you keep thinking, oh, well, that's not good enough, and I don't, you know, I mean, put it another way, I wasn't particularly into dating. Like, I would shut it down. I would always think that it was a joke if someone was flirting with me. Because I felt like, well, why do you fancy me? Because, you know, and it's just little insecurities like that, and you kind of have to, like, let it go and just think, well, okay, so what? Someone, you know, what's the expression? Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. You know,
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
That's such a gorgeous little saying.
I know, like, we don't like the same clothes. Well, sometimes.
Similar.
But I think it's just taste in that respect. I've lost my point now. But it's one of those things, it's just like, you kind of just have to let go and think, well, you can't be everyone's cup of tea, otherwise you'd be a mug. I hate that expression, but I've just
love that expression.
I hate it. I think it's so typical, but it's true.
I think of it like a spot. You know, if you keep picking at it, it goes red, it gets bigger, you know, you get more spots. If you pop the spot, it goes away, but then 5 more spots appear in the same area. But if you slap a hyaluronic patch on it, it goes away in its own time. I think that kind of, you know, refers to, you know, what everyone goes through at some point, because we all step out of our comfort zone. We all We all need to try new things. Like for me, a big one was wearing black, navy or white. You know, that is my base wardrobe. You know, 97% of my wardrobe was black, white or navy.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend set me a New Year's resolution to wear more colours. And
you're doing it.
And it's killing me. But I am. But, you know, we try new things, we learn from our experiences, and, you know, we get to say we've been able to do this, we've been able to, you know, try something that we wouldn't usually try. And that's when we glow up. That's when we learn, you know, it's okay.
So, what do you think teaches us more, outcomes or anxiety?
Ooh. I think we learn more from anxiety, but I think outcomes teach us the lessons. I think we can learn a lot from, you know, if you can figure out what makes you anxious, if you can figure out, you know, what kind of stops you from doing something, whether that's, you know, you're not a fan of social settings, you're not a fan of, you know, going to shops on your own, you know, stuff like that would normally make you anxious. If you can pinpoint that, I think you can learn from it. You can grow. You can be able to, you know, develop yourself and change your ways a little bit in a sense. But I think, you know, if you miss a social event, you know, if you miss your friend's birthday because you're feeling anxious or you don't want to, you don't know what to wear, you don't know what to do, you're gonna, you know, you're scared you might say the wrong thing there, then you've missed out on an opportunity to grow and develop, and that outcome is that you've not had that experience. So I think anxiety teaches you, but outcomes teach you the lessons, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know, what do I think? That is the question.
What do you think?
What do I think? What is going on in my little ticker? No, ticker's your heart, innit?
Yeah, because it beats.
Yeah, because it ticks. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think anxiety is one of the things that holds us back the most. I mean, it's similar to what we were talking about before, is kind of like people's expectations and going with the flow and fitting in. And I think the main anxiety for me is always what people think. And I think that's ringing true with a lot of other people. I think that's probably one of our biggest problems in society, to be honest. Well, not one of our biggest, but like from a mental health perspective. I don't know. I don't really know what to say on that, to be honest.
Well, the way I think of that, what you've just said, is I've got someone I used to work with who I'm still very close with. I love him to bits, and he's taught me quite a few life lessons.
Yeah.
You know, because when I was working with him, I was quite an anxious person. You know, I was quite very set in my ways, tunnel vision, and he used to say that to me. He said, "Who cares? It's not your life. It's, you know, if you care what someone else thinks, then you're never going to go anywhere. You're never going to, you know, be able to grow because it's set, you know." But it gets to a point in your life, because I care what people think.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he is very kind of open-minded and very, you know, he's very insightful.
He's a good egg.
He's a good egg.
He is a good egg.
Yeah. But he is, you know, got this output, this this vision on life that you walk through it as you are. You don't need to mould yourself or change to fit someone else's approval, to fit someone's, you know, how someone thinks of you. You don't need to you don't have to change that. It shouldn't matter. And he's very black and white with that. You know, no one can faze him. But he has got that kind of carpe diem output.
Yeah.
On things, and
I think I have to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very unbothered.
Yeah. You're not bothered, are you?
No.
No. But when you get to a point like that, it becomes a lot easier to walk through life with your head held high because you don't care, you're not looking over your shoulder, you're not second guessing yourself. You know, you can post a picture on Instagram and I thought you were going to knock that over there.
I know, so did I.
But yeah, you can post a picture on Instagram and not, you know, have to think about what people are going to think. You know, you like something, you don't have to change yourself. And life becomes a lot better and the quality of life becomes a lot better when you stop walking through life looking over your shoulder, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think, again, it comes down to expectations and, you know, trying to fit in with something that we've kind of invented as a society. Like, nobody, you know, we were put on this earth, however which way you believe, and I don't even know what I believe, to be honest, but yeah, we were made to be individuals, we were made to be our own people, and if you mould yourself to be something that you're not just because you think that's what people want you to be, you lose yourself, you lose your individuality. I mean, what's that quote I'm trying to think of? Comparison destroys individuality.
Ooh.
I can't think who that is. I want to say Walt Disney, but I don't think it is.
What was that? Comparison destroys individuality?
Yeah, I think it's personality, actually, the actual
Personality.
quote. I don't know.
That's a heavy one, isn't it?
I'll tell you an actual Walt Disney quote while I'm on the subject.
Go on.
Hang on. Growing old is mandatory, growing up is optional. So that's kind of like a maturity perspective.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm still quite childish in some respects. I will still, you know, there's still toys that I've got that I've not got rid of. Do you know what I mean?
I have as well.
Have you not?
No. I've got a few left in my room, but the rest are in the loft.
Yeah, a majority of mine are in the loft.
Yeah.
I've still got some in the room. I'm still, I'm not going to share that specific detail, but I'm still very close with one particular teddy from my childhood. And I don't see anything wrong with that.
It's sentimentality, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a comfort thing as well. Like when I've had a rough day, little cuddle. Yeah, it might sound weird to some people. I'm not bothered. I don't care. But it's
what you like.
yeah.
It's what.
That was the point I was making.
Yeah. Like I have a little blanket when I was a baby.
You've still got Bobby.
Yeah.
I thought you'd binned her.
No.
You've still.
No. She's in a drawer in my room.
Mm.
You know, she's probably gathered a little bit of dust, but
Yeah.
she's still there, and I know she's still there.
She's there for you when you need her.
She is.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's learning to walk on your own, isn't it? It's learning to be able to, you know, it's okay to have your own likes, your own dislikes. It's okay to walk through life. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
While I wrong quotes, once just came to mind, which I think is quite relevant to this one. So Gandhi once said, "You must be the change you want to see in the world."
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. My voice went very deep then, didn't it? But I like that, yeah. Yeah, it's sort of about not being afraid to step outside of the boundaries. Think outside the box.
lines.
Colour outside the lines,
Yeah.
yeah. We're quite good on analogies if you've not gathered.
I think it's a reference from Sex and the City.
Is it?
It is.
I've not
It
watched
is,
that
it
in
is.
ages.
I think it's the second film.
Oh, which one? Which one are you on about?
The one where they go to Dubai.
No, I mean which quote?
Oh. Colour outside the lines.
Oh. It might be. Do you know, I need to rewatch that. 'Cause
I'll
I
show you
can't
the clip
remember it.
later.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So, how can we learn to trust ourselves?
I think, for me at least, throwing yourself in at the deep end. If you have something that you want to do, just do it. You know, trust that you've got the abilities and the resources to do that. You know, drown out all the outside noise, and just don't overthink it too much. I think that gets a lot of us is when we start getting in our heads about it and we start overthinking things. You know, that loops back again to the anxiety. You know, it's so much more freeing when you just go, I know I can do this, so why am I doubting myself. I know I can do it, so I'm just going to do it. It's so freeing when you find the strength and the ability to do that.
It's like when you're driving on the motorway, you've got a passenger in the car with you. It's rather than saying, is it safe for me to overtake, when you're sat behind a lorry doing 54 miles an hour and you're itching to just put your foot down.
Yeah.
It's, glance over your shoulder and then just go for it. Just check your mirrors and go for it. Do you know what I mean? You just need to dive right in with both feet. And the second you do, you'll think, well, why have I just asked you this? When I know it's safe for me to overtake, if I know it's safe for me to do something, if I trust my own judgment, if I'm able to, say, no, I'm more than qualified, I've got the skills, I've got,
license.
I've got the license, like, I've passed my test, then what's stopping you?
I think it comes into everyday stuff as well. That is everyday, but like, what did I just think of then? Like, if you're cooking something and you have to ask someone, do you think that's cooked? That's another thing. Like, you've got eyes. You've got your own that sounded really horrible then, didn't it? But you've got your own judgment. And, I used to do it quite a lot because I did food tech for GCSE.
I did as well, but now I burn water.
You set pasta on fire, so...
It's an easy thing to do.
It's not, though. But I remember when you burnt that garlic bread as well, and you were stood there scraping it over the sink, scraping the black off.
Well, what happened is I burnt my toast first, and then I tried scraping it off. I gave up that, put it in the bin, and then I tried to make bagels, and then the bagels just got burnt in the toaster. How would you burn bagels in the toaster?
Put it in for too long.
Well, I didn't know that. And then when the toaster is smoking and my bagels are black and they just snap.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
When you burn something and it just crumbles.
When you just can't
dust.
salvage it. That's me. That's my life skills gone. Yeah. But I can make cookies though.
You can't. They were actually quite nice the other day.
They were good, weren't they?
What was I on about?
So the chicken's cooked.
Oh yeah.
It's cooked.
Yeah. So you don't. It's about. Sorry, this is really like unprofessional, isn't it? But it's life. I think we've lost the plot a little bit.
We have. The podcast has gone to our heads.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, it's life. It's one of those things where you kind of just have to go with it, and you just have to go, no, it's probably all right. Sometimes you're going to make mistakes, and sometimes your judgment isn't going to be 100% correct. But worst case scenario, the world's still going to spin. It's only something that can be reversible.
Yeah.
I mean, in most instances, anyway.
But it's when you can trust your own judgment, when you can learn, when you can realise what it is that's stopping you from trusting your own judgment, and you can work on that, you can grow, you can develop, and then when you can start trusting your own judgment, you can thrive. Life gets a lot more colourful, it gets easier, and it's a better quality of life. It's just better for you.
So one thing that hasn't changed in our show, if you are aware or not, we have this segment called The Glass Moment, which is where we take something from the episode that has stayed with us or something that we find significant. So my glass moment is drowning out the outside noise.
Yeah. And my glass moment was learning that it's okay to burn the toast every now and then.
Mm-hmm. So obviously our structure today was a little bit different, a little bit more relaxed, authentic and conversational. So let us know what you thought about this episode in the comments.
Well, our glasses are empty, so that's time for us to say goodbye, and we'll see you on the next episode of Grab a Glass.